Hello, I would like to inform you that what you're about to listen to are our views and comments from the hosts and guests that only reflect their own view and not the community's as a whole. You're also committing to hire us at some point in the future, whether or not you want to or you like our work. I hope you enjoy the podcast. And Eddie, play the banter section.
Wait, no, why do you hate me for this? You asked me to do this. You literally asked me to do this, and you hate me for doing this?
But I don't like that you have this much control over me.
Over your life?
Well, probably, yes, over my own podcast.
Yeah. It happens when you invite me into these things. I mean, this is literally the second time you've done this. I feel you should have known what was coming at this point.
I would have thought you'd be bored of it.
So I should have just said no?
So you're saying this is all my fault?
Yes.
Right, okay, fine.
And by this, I mean this, 2023, State of the World. It's all Eddie's fault.
Yeah, just everything about this is all my fault. Thank you. Yeah, cheers. Let's get that on audio. Right, okay. Then.
Did you get that, Tom? Did you get that?
Yes, I got that.
All right, fantastic. All right, cool. Right, well, we're done now. I guess that's everything we needed to hear from. So, yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
So, this is the part where usually, if we were to do one of those things where I expect you're wondering why I've gathered you here today, and we would sit around the table and you'd all be expectantly waiting me to explain why I've gathered you here today. Right. I don't know why we're here today. Eddie, why are we here today?
Yeah, Eddie, why are we here today?
I'm going to go back to bed, I think. I'm just going to go back to my bed and just be done with this.
Okay.
Jesus
Christ.
We've not even done an intro yet. We've just gone straight into it. I thought this was the banter section.
How many podcasts have you done at this point?
146 something I'm now on. Or 45.
If people don't know what's going on after 146 episodes, I think the problem's more with them than with you.
Oh, right. Okay, then. Right. Okay. Well,
I'm sorry. Did we just call out Eddie's entire population of listeners?
Yeah, I would think Eddie just called them out, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, that's true. But then maybe there'll be one person who joined today and said, do you know what? I'll join on the 145th episode and see what it's all about. Hang on, is it 145th? Let me just double check. No, 46th. I've got that wrong. Okay. So, yeah. So
it's the level of quality you come to expect from the Ed's Talks About podcast.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So let me just do the intro. Hi, this is Eddie. No, wait, what? Hello, everybody. This is the Ed Talk About podcast, a weekly podcast about cosplay, Comic-Con, and everything else. I'm your host, Eddie, and this week is my birthday podcast, my third one I've done in this series. Woo!
Oh, he's 3 years old. Oh, yeah, he's a toddler.
Fucking hell, I act like a 3-year-old. Doesn't mean I am a 3-year-old. There's a difference.
Once again, you said it, not us.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So, okay. So, how do I explain it? So, yes, it's my birthday. When this comes out, it's actually one day before my birthday. So I release this on a Wednesday. So this will come out on the 12th of April. My birthday's on the 13th of April. So
lucky for some.
What?
Unlucky for some.
What do you mean?
13th.
13th, yes. It's just
for some people, the number 13 is unlucky.
Is it? Who?
Well, I don't know. Western culture.
Just calling out the entire Western Hemisphere. There you go.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not. My name's not Western culture. So, yes, this is the third one, and I thought, I'll jazz up a little bit. I'll invite Andy because he's good at talking on these podcasts because I listen to his great direct as well as the Grand Prix or the Grand. Is it Grand Prix or Grand Prix?
Yes.
Cool, excellent. The Grand Prix podcast.
Well done for clearing that up.
You're welcome.
And Jesus Christ, and he's always seems to have a mouth on him when he's like on these podcasts. So I thought I'll get. And I said, "Oh, do you want me to get an extra guest?" He goes, No. I'll sort it out. I'm getting flashes of deja vu here because if I remember correctly, 46 episodes ago. So anyway, I had this intro in my head. I was going to say. Oh, so I got Andy to interview me for my 100th episode. So I thought I'll do it again, not on the 150th, but the 146th episode. Da-da-da. And anyway, so yeah, so I'm getting deja vu because in that 100th episode, you brought in Tom for this as a special guest thing, and now I'm like, I really panicked. Like, who the hell is that sitting there waiting? And I don't like when I don't have that much control over my own podcast.
So you, a man
Yeah.
who does not like being out of control, has asked me, a known troublemaker / bringer of chaos,
Yes.
to host your podcast, and you're upset now that I have in fact brought chaos in the form of Tom.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I mean, it is pretty much the most amount of chaos that you could bring for something like a podcast here.
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, there was supposed to be more chaos, but she hasn't gotten back to me.
Oh,
She could at any point, we might have
Hang
more
on.
chaos show up.
Can I just assume who that is? Does it by any chance someone who says the phrase "and hire me"?
It is entirely possible that is indeed the case. And even though she's not here, I feel obliged on her behalf to say, hire Charlotte.
Why not me? Why not hire me?
Because I do hire you. I pay you. I literally hire you for jobs. I pay you money. Okay.
Andy, I thought we talked about this. We weren't going to talk about that ever beyond the bedroom.
Look, everyone knows about your. You enjoy the public humiliation side of our relationship.
And
as
Eddie,
evidenced by this podcast. So
I'm going to be honest. Also, in the group that you and I are both in, you are very open about your preferences and what you get up to in your own private time. So, yeah, I don't think not including it in the podcast. It's even a thing at this time. At this point,
this is a group I'm not in, and I would like to correct this because if someone is taking the mickey out of it and I'm not involved, I'm feeling left out.
Right. Okay. So hang on. Okay. Hang on. There is a structure to this podcast, and I'm hoping there is. Shut up, you.
Yeah.
Shut up, you. Okay. So just to explain what Tom's talking about. So I was brought into a WhatsApp group, and fuck me, it is chaos.
Yes.
And I like every so often will just jump in with like a real like an odd comment that is in my head, and I think, oh, do I use that example or a different example? No, I better not use that example. Okay, I feel like so that group is quite safe to say anything and I want, and I mean anything. And I feel like if I one iota of that thought coming out of that group, I know I'm going to get cancelled.
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm nothing that I wouldn't say publicly, but it's also something that I wouldn't want to say publicly.
So this has just become the Ed Gets Cancelled podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing, right?
I mean, to be fair, I think Eddie's going on a bit strong with the fact that he would be cancelled. He wouldn't be cancelled, but I would say the group which I mainly observe from afar, especially lately.
Like David Attenborough.
Yes,
observing cosplayers and photographers in their native habitat.
Very much so.
Yes. The lesser spotted Eddie, seen here, approaching the pack, desperate for interaction and praise. Watch as he drops the meme into the chat and scurries away to observe how it is perceived.
See, it's not even a meme at times. Sometimes it's just a comment. Eddie will be very direct with the comment that he wishes to make, or comments as it may be, and then he will then just kind of scurry away and wait for the ensuing chaos to follow.
Okay, all right.
Chaos grenades. I like it.
Let me explain. Let me defend myself.
No one wants that. It's not necessary. Yeah, absolutely not necessary.
I will add my own explanation to this podcast, and I don't care.
Yeah, you can do it afterwards. You can cut in. You go, hi, it's Eddie from the future here. I just need to explain what's actually going on here.
You could do a bonus episode.
It's like a director's cut. You can do a commentary over the top of this. So yeah, hi, this is Eddie. I'm the host of this podcast. Now, I don't know what I was thinking when I invited Andy to host this. I think I might have been drunk, but sorry. I've just spoken over the best joke in the entire cast. But yeah. Oh, and here's Tom. I love working with Tom. He's a great guy. Huge beard. Huge fan.
Yes, huge fan.
Can I get a word in edgeway, please?
Absolutely
I don't
not.
know. I think we're doing pretty good so far, keeping you out. You know, we could see if we could do the entire podcast without letting Eddie get any words in.
I mean, that is very true. Myself and Eddie could just carry on talking, and we could just kind of pit subjects at a whim and just completely exclude Eddie from his whole podcast.
We could do that. Yeah,
we could do that.
If
we choose not to.
I had the ability to mute you two. If only I had the ability to do that.
But today you don't, right? Because I thought Andy was in control
Oh
of your
no,
podcast.
no. Eddie does insist that he hosts these ones. He also insists he edits these podcasts.
Oh, I bet he does.
Andy, if you want to edit this for me, you go ahead. I'm more than happy for you to edit this.
You've listened to the podcasts that I've edited. Editing is a thing that happens to other people. That's why the Great Derelicts tend to be 2 hours long.
Hang on. There is a time limit on this one. I need to be somewhere at 9 o'clock, by the way.
Oh, that
where
sounds
you
a lot
going
like
for
you
9
problem.
o'clock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where's our invite? Huh?
I'm going to watch Taskmaster.
Ah.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah. That's my life.
Is that did you score some free tickets for that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, very good. Well, then it's entirely missable. It doesn't matter whether you're late, whether you miss it or not.
Doesn't cost you anything.
You're
Also,
not
Tom,
losing out on anything. Hello.
You notice he doesn't invite us to these things.
Oh yeah, no, very
He
much
keeps
so.
getting tickets. We never get invited.
No,
hang
not
on.
at all.
What I'm referring to at 9 o'clock is on TV, so I don't need to invite people.
Well, you could do. We didn't know which time our school went on.
Okay,
You're going to be nice to be informed.
Okay, hang on. Andy and special guest, would you like to watch TV on your own TV, Taskmaster at 9 o'clock on Channel 4? This is not a plug for the show, but it also is.
I mean, it feels like it's a plug. I mean, it does feel like at this point you would like
it's definitely
to
come
just do
across as a
Taskmaster.
plug.
Yeah.
Have they paid you for this podcast, Eddie?
Fuck no! God, oh God! If
I'm sure after we listen to this episode, there'll be there with sponsorship money. Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much for promoting our show.
Yeah. I'm sure Alex Horn would love to, would be absolutely listening to this podcast of all podcasts he could listen to.
I mean, you never know. You never know. I know people, Eddie knows people. We know people that also know people. Someone might know Eddie Thornton. Who knows?
Anyway, so we're about 12 minutes into the podcast, and we've not actually said anything that's of actual structure. So, Andy, I'm assuming you had a structure to this podcast. Are we just minorly chatting, or did you have something planned?
Eddie, let me give you a little insight into the last 2 weeks of my life. I have just moved cities. I have just upped and left London and moved to the north. I've gone to the north of the wall. I have gone to join House Stark up there in the north. And much of the last 2 weeks has been involved in actually buying furniture and fitting out and establishing a life up in Manchester. And today, because my wife had to go to a meeting in London, we had to drive down from Manchester back to London to attend that one. And now I have spent the afternoon trying to get my laptop set up and a microphone in place to record this. So to answer your question, no, there's no structure, there's no rhyme, there's no reason, there's nothing. There is just us. There is simply us.
Us talking into the void.
Mm-hmm. You I gave you at least a week's warning for this.
A week's warning.
Only a week's warning for someone that is moving cities, driving between Manchester and London. Helping out his adorable wife, making sure she gets to meetings on time. And
I had to go to Cos Expo as well in between all of that.
Oh, yes, of course. And you also went to Cos Expo. And you only gave this man a week's notice. That's like telling someone, in the morning that, we've got a meeting in 5 minutes and I want you to give a full presentation on the theory of life.
I mean, your theory is kind of sound, but also not, because 5 minutes and 1 week are two different things.
I mean, it really does depend on your perspective. Also,
yes.
If one is neurodiverse or not, and I very much am. So you get me. I showed up. You're welcome. However, I note, Ed, I'm hurt. I am a little hurt, I have to admit.
What have I done?
You've never invited me onto one of your famous unscripted episodes. Many a time
sure
have I enjoyed listening to you and guests rant and rave and talk about things completely off the cuff without any kind of plan or plot or scheme. And so I decided right now, when it just occurred to me, that this is in fact an unscripted episode. It's either that or is the other option. We can do an unscripted episode, or we can look ahead to Star Wars Celebration, which is in London this weekend, and me and Tom can talk about all the things we're excited about.
And in actual fact, that starts tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow at the time of
at
recording.
at the time of recording, yeah. So, Andy, what are your things that you're looking forward to? For Star
Hang
Wars
on,
Celebration?
no. I get to decide.
Okay,
It is his birthday. We did say he could decide.
Sure. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
on. You decide, Eddie.
I was actually going to joke. Let's talk about Star Wars, and I realised no, I can't even joke about that because it's fucking painful to talk about.
And we would. To be fair, we would. We would talk about Star
very
Wars.
much so. Very much so.
The only thing I've seen about Star Wars Celebration, no, two things I've seen Star Wars Celebration is one, I've seen the video square Space Invader doorway that just says Star Wars Celebration. That seemed pretty shit to me. And the second thing I've seen is apparently the will call to picking up your tickets. Apparently it's horrendous, but I think it's just picking up tickets. It's also a lot of people picking up tickets. What did you expect? I don't know. But anyway, let's do an unscripted because let's do that. Yeah, because I can't talk about Star Wars. I really hate Star Wars.
Well, we can talk about Star Trek if you prefer, because I've been enjoying Picard.
Oh my god, I would love to talk about Star Trek. Oh my god, hang on, spoiler alert if you've not watched season 3 of Picard. Fuck you, I don't care. I fucking love it.
It's incredible,
much.
Isn't it?
Oh my god, I blow my load every time the credits roll because I'm going, oh my god, the excitement is so humongous. It's like, so why couldn't the other two Picard season be as good as season?
I have voiced this exact same thing to Andy before.
Oh my god,
I am so gutted that we have gone through 2 seasons of Picard. And, and you know, the first season that was okay. The second season,
no, it was not.
No. It was okay. It was nothing better than that. Season 2 was trash. But oh my god, like someone has just, I don't know, turned the dial up to 12 for season 3, and it's incredible. Every episode has been banger after banger after banger. It's been great.
Yeah, and I just, oh my god, I could, right. This is where I'm seeing Trek. Okay, so you got original Trek.
Yeah,
you got like next gen Treks such as Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. Yep. All right. Then you got, shall we say, the J.J. Abraham films. And then this is what I'm going to be calling it: New Trek, as in NU.
Sure.
Because you've got to be like down with the kids, but not like that. So you obviously got Discovery, you got Lower Decks, you got Strange New Worlds, you got Picard. Fuck Picard. Not fuck Picard, like literally like riding him like that. Have I just gone a bit too graphic on this?
A little, but we're down with it. Just
we'll allow it.
Yeah.
We'll allow it.
Yeah, we'll allow it. Prodigy as well, Star Trek Prodigy. So far, for me, from a point of view of Star Trek, I absolutely love all this new Trek. Like when I was younger and like Next Gen Trek was about, there was like 1 or 2 series I kind of liked, but later enough, I then enjoyed more or less all of it. I will admit, I've not seen all of Next Gen. I've seen I think I remember just picking up halfway through and just enjoyed it, the odd episode, because I feel like that's I remember we were talking about Star Trek when we were talking about the Star Trek podcast, that you guys like Next Gen because you can just pick up the odd episodes and just enjoy it.
Yes,
true. Yes, and I said I like DS9 because I love the arc storyline. That was, but yeah, no, I mean, I have to pick this up because I really want to be talking about this. If you haven't if you're a Trekkie and you love the old style of Star Trek, go and watch Strange New Worlds. I can't explain how great that show is. I've always said that Star Trek of episodic episodes are dead. I was so wrong. Strange New World has renewed my faith in episodic.
It's great, isn't it?
I mean, Lower Decks as well. Good. Lower Decks is also quite episodic.
It's very episodic, but at the same time, it's not in a traditional Star Trek way. It's done for laughs, not for storytelling. Yeah. Whereas Strange New World, it's every episode. I can't think of one episode I've gone, that's a dull episode.
Oh no,
that was
Strange New World was fantastic, and as you say, it embraced the much more episodic nature of Star Trek from Star Trek we were familiar with in our youth. You see, what's very interesting is when Star Trek, because the 90s era of Star Trek, so when Next Generation started in 87, and that was kind of continuously on TV through Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise through till 2005. So
you're talking for?
Yeah, that kind of
Christ, that makes me feel old. Sorry,
you
carry
are,
on.
mate.
How do you think I feel? I am actually. This is my birthday podcast.
So look, I hate to break
Eddie,
this to you
if
both.
you could just
We are
move
old,
away.
okay?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you could just move away from the microphone, Eddie, you just boom it in.
Yeah.
No!
Tom, to be fair, he has to edit this, so it's fine. He can peek as much
yeah.
as he wants. Point I was making about Star Trek is when Star Trek started '87, there wasn't really such a thing as serialized TV like that. But over the course of that, we had shows like Babylon 5 started. We had X-Files. We had Twin Peaks. There were shows which were just starting to tell stories over longer arcs. And when you got to Star Trek Voyager, one of the big complaints about Voyager was there was no consequences, because at the end of every episode, they'd hit a big reset button and everything, every episode started the way that the previous one had done.
Yeah.
So what had been a plus and a positive with the Next Generation was now seen as a negative. And they tried to correct that with Enterprise. They started introducing a bit of an arc in seasons 3 and 4, but by then it was too late. And then after Star Trek, we got Battlestar Galactica, which had this huge sweeping 4-year arc of everything going on there. And TV basically just pivoted to arcs and binging shows, with the advent of Netflix and the whole idea of just dropping an entire season straight away. And when Star Trek Discovery came back, I think they went all in on doing an arc, but I don't think they did what the other shows had done, like Battlestar, where you plan it out ahead. You say, we're telling a story over an entire season, but you're still making it up each week. And I think that is not so great.
I know what you're saying. I think they did have an overall arc where they were going. But like you said, it felt like we know we had to get from episode 1 to 8 somehow. And we know from 8 goes to 13. But the episode in between, we need to find some way for it to get there. And let's do it this way. And like, really? Okay. But of all the let's really deep dive into the new tracks.
Okay, everyone, this is a Star Trek podcast now. Star Trek 2, Electric Boogaloo.
We'll move on to a different one in a minute, so we don't bore everyone listening.
Do you really think anyone's still listening at this point? I mean,
I hope so. I will be listening to this.
After 12 minutes of us rambling, I would be very surprised if they've just gone, oh, you know what? We're going to stick around for the Trek talk.
Yeah.
I would, ish. I'll probably end up turning off out on my own podcast. No, what I was going to say is that of all the Discoveries, because I truly like Discovery, I don't mind all the, everyone else's complaints about Discovery, I don't care. I actually don't mind it.
I like
Season 2 Discovery. Yeah, it's all right. Season 2 Discovery is the best. But I love season 4 for being, in a sense, the closest to old style Trek storytelling in an arc storyline. And I feel that was so good.
Don't know. You see, that's interesting. When was the last time you watched? Have you done a rewatch of Discovery since it aired?
Not really, no.
You see, I have done recently, and I'll tell you what. Season 1 stands up really well. On a rewatch. Season 1 of Discovery is actually quite solid. Season 2 of Star Trek, I love it in the moment. I love watching Pike. I love the interactions between the cast and everything. But when you go back and watch it after having seen it, and also knowing where it's going, there's a whole lot of what the fuckery going on. Like, that doesn't actually make a huge amount of sense when you go back and look at it. And I'm just genuinely curious, if you were to go back and watch it, I think you might find season 1 might be the high watermark for it.
Because it did turn into, how can we insert Michael into just about every situation that was going on throughout. And I kind of remember that it was just very, oh, now this is happening, oh, now this is happening, oh, now this is happening.
Well, no, but it had to be had to circle around Michael, because it was definitely about it. Whereas the third season felt like it was going that way, and that's why every fan went,
yeah.
When you find out it wasn't, you went, oh, is that the reason? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Star Trek Discovery probably has the strongest cast in terms of the quality of actors and the potential that we have there. It has the best representation that we've seen as well. I adore the cast of Discovery. Conversely, though, and this is my own personal opinion, and it in no way reflects the opinion of anyone else, and certainly not the Ed Talks About podcast, this is my opinion, I think it's had the weakest writing in so much as I don't think the writers have really known how to write the show they've got. I think the writers they've had on Strange New Worlds and in Picard Season 3 are a lot better, whereas the writers from Discovery and the first season of Picard, I think, were trying to make a show that wasn't necessarily Star Trek.
I would agree with you. Because the writing is specifically in Strange New Worlds and Season 3 has just been so strong. The episodes have had this consistent quality about them, whereas you can definitely sort of pick apart, as we've already been doing, pick apart the earlier seasons of both shows, Discovery and Picard.
Do you know who we need for this section of the podcast? We need Sean.
Well, Sean's not here, so...
I expected you, Andy, to organise this.
Again, Andy had a week.
Yeah, and has been moving. Also,
that's no excuse.
Between two cities, no less.
To be fair, you might want to edit this out, but you did tell me once that you didn't think you'd be able to have Sean on a podcast for reasons.
But I expected you
for reasons of things that you have seen, and you were saying that you might feel intimidated as a result. Anyway, you've edited all that out. You've edited that out, so anyone who wasn't here for that has missed that. However, slightly tangentially related, there's an important clarification I would like to make, because I've seen this come up a few times on Twitter, and I just need to step this out, okay? Pike is Space Dad. Lorca is Space Daddy. There's a difference.
No, you're wrong.
There's a difference.
You're wrong.
No.
You're wrong.
I assure you I'm not.
You're wrong. Okay. Why am I wrong? Why is Pike Space Dad and Lorca Space Dad? Which I want to know why from you.
If I have to explain this to you, Eddie, we need to sit down and have a discussion at some point. When a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, or however you choose to identify, when they really love each other, they have a very special hug. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
I'm not going any further than that. You're clearly too young for this.
I'm clearly too young. How old are you? Actually, let's not go down that road. Oh, no, let's not go down that road. Yeah, no, I don't need people. Because I love when people go, when I do tell people my age, I go, no, you're not. I say, why would I lie about my age?
Eddie, just for the sake of clarification, how old are you going to be?
Fuck you, you motherfucker. I'm going to hit the big 4-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how's that make you feel?
Well, I'm not hit it yet when this podcast is being recorded and released. But the day after that, I don't know. But it'd just be another number, really. My knees are already aching as it is anyway. I'm feeling the winter. I'm acting like my dad. I'm going to bloody whippersnappers. I'm already wearing multiple layers.
If it makes you feel better, Eddie, though, you can now say, when people ask you how old you are, you say, I am 20 years old.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And you generally will confuse people by replying in that way as well.
I was going to say, I'm confused, and I'm apparently the age to be talking like this.
Well, also, though, basically people will understand that when you say that is how people used to say 20 years when you were younger. So when you say you are 20 years old, they will say, oh, he really is old.
Hang on, am I time traveller now?
No, you're just old.
I will want...
I mean, you are a time traveller. You have travelled through time. You have travelled 40 years through time.
No, but I do one day would love to try, hidden camera type of situation. Run out of a building.
Eddie, we've been over this.
Shut up. I want to run out of a building, grab someone and say, what year is this? What year is this? And I'm hoping they think I'm a time traveller.
No.
I don't think that will work the way that you want it to work.
Yes.
I think people are just going to look at you and think that you're mad.
Yeah, but that's what happens in films. That's what they all do. They all grab someone, shake them, and go, what year is this? And thinking, oh, that's a normal question to ask.
I mean, I can really think of one film where they've done that, and that was Jumanji.
Yeah.
12 Monkeys?
Oh, good point.
Okay,
Yeah.
We're up to 2.
I haven't seen 12 Monkeys in a while, but yeah, good point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think others now, but I'm sure I've like TV shows.
Wait, didn't they also say that in Back to the Future as well?
I don't think they ran out and grabbed them and said, what year is it? But
I'm sure that right.
But whatever happens, though, Eddie, when they tell you the year, I want you to slap your head and go, Great Scott! and then pass out.
Great Scott! And then just walk out away. Yeah, I'll do that. But I was going to say, if anyone can think of any other TV shows or films that does that motion, DM Andy. Don't DM me, DM Andy, all right?
Yeah. I love people thinking that people are still listening. There is only us. No one else is here. It's just us at this point.
I'm hoping there is still at least one. No, Nick will be still listening to this.
Oh, yeah, but it's because
yes.
he has to edit it, right?
No, he does the quotes.
Oh, okay.
Nick has taken over. So when I first did this podcasting, there was a fellow photographer called Shabs, and he was doing the quotes for me for a while. And I went, oh, this is quite good. This is less admin work for me. This is great. Then I think he got bored, or he just, life got in the way, which is fine. I don't, I'm not paying him or anything like that, which is fine. But at that point, someone else was just like quoting it for me. I'm going, oh, this is weird. I actually thought it was just Shabs for a second. Then I went, oh wait, this is a different format of how he does the quotes. I thought that's weird. And then I just find out then this guy kept doing it. I said, are you okay doing this? He said, yeah, it's fine. And then I met him at Comic-Con last year. And yeah, we've just been he's been doing it for me. So Nick, if you're listening to this, thank you very much. It's been really appreciated. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you're not paying him because he's paying both of us to be here on this podcast. I mean,
that
Nick,
is also very true.
I'd have a word with him.
Fucking...
I mean, Nick, whatever he said about, he has no money and all that sort of stuff, let me just remind you, he has just come back off a holiday from, I think it was Japan. And, he, as Andy mentioned, he's paying us quite a healthy sum for being on his podcast.
Because our appearance fee is...
sky high.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, what is 0 times 0?
About £300.
Yeah.
Okay, just to clarify, I did not go to Japan. That was another fellow photographer.
Where did you go to?
Aha! You should have just been paying attention.
Hong Kong.
I mean, Eddie, it's going to take you all about 5 seconds to figure out where you're gone. So, just for the sake of clarification and the fact that Eddie will have to hang on and edit this.
But also, Andy just mentioned it.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay, dang it.
If you weren't just talking over
Hong Kong. He went to Hong Kong.
Sorry, was there an echo in here? I just swear Andy said it, then someone else said it.
So, Nick, Eddie did just come back off holiday from Hong Kong. Ask the man to pay you if you're listening to this. Yeah.
But it's not because I wanted to go to Hong Kong. It wasn't like a holiday destination. It was because I had to do something there. It was family related, thank you very much.
And did you not act like a tourist whilst you was out there?
I actually didn't, thank you very much.
Did you do touristy things whilst you were out there? Eddie, don't lie. We have seen it on your Facebook.
One day.
That counts as a holiday, my friend. Congratulations.
Fuck you. Biggest fuck you ever. Jesus Christ. Right. Usually when I do these podcasts, I generally say, hey, guest, would you like to ask me any questions? But I'm really fearful of asking that question. But since it's also an unscripted podcast, well, I've got nothing else to do. Andy, was there anything you wanted to say on this podcast?
Well, to say or to ask you? I mean, if I was to ask you a question, the question would be, are you regretting this yet?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
But was there any other questions you wanted to talk to us about the cosplay community or anything else?
Any things we want to discuss? I mean, I suppose just because I haven't done it in a while,
oh God, no!
What? Are you what I was going to say? Hello there. No, it's nothing like that. I was going to ask you, Eddie, how you doing?
How am I doing?
How's the last year been for Ed?
Do you want an honest answer or do you want me to lie?
No, honest answer. Come on there.
Honest answer. Okay, so no, genuine honest answer. And I will be truthful. This is no bullshit. This is no behind a mask or anything like that. Generally, the last 365 days from birthday to birthday is a bit, for me, generally up and down. At times I've struggled. I will admit I have struggled to be because sorry, I really dropped the tempo. I'm so sorry.
This podcast has come to a screeching halt as Eddie now lays out his mental welfare on his own podcast.
I asked if you wanted to lie or the truth. You said truth, so I'm being truthful.
And we appreciate it. So do your listeners.
I've really struggled. I am dealing with it. Some people know how I'm dealing with it. I'm sure you can work it out between the lines, but I personally don't want to be talking about it too much in detail. But no, it's been a lot of ups and downs. Trying to deal with my own thoughts and deal with some of the situations I've put myself into. I will say that, and I am generally happy about myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm either self-diagnosed depressed or clinic depression, something like that. I know I'm not that far because I know a friend who just recently said he's depressed, and I'm going, oh shit. And I'm not saying I'm comparing my life to his life, but I'm like saying it's good that he's talking about it and he's willing to say it out loud, and also he's willing to accept that in his life. But I'm not saying I'm anywhere near that. But I'm trying to circle around a lot of landmines here, and I feel like I'm about to step on the line. But what I'm trying to say,
let's try and make this a bit easier for you. Okay, now as someone who has already crossed the Rubicon, as it were, into their fourth decade. I'll point out I didn't put a special podcast out about it, but that's just me. But as
oh wow, shots fired. Go on.
As someone who has gone there as well, I have to say I found that I always dread getting older, and also big numbers. They kind of terrify me.
Yeah.
When you come up and you see one of these big things coming up, it's just like, oh, I don't like that. That's scary. But conversely, every decade of my life has been better than the last. My 30s, I was much happier in my 30s than I was in my 20s. And so far, touch wood, I'm a lot happier now in my 40s and more comfortable in my own skin than I was earlier.
Yeah, and that's literally where I was getting to the end of my point, which will seem to be going to take a long time.
I just cut to the end. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. I am starting to become more comfortable in my own thoughts, my own skin, my own self, really. And I think that's the one thing I was struggling with, because it's like, I know I say and do a lot of things that are a bit weird, a bit like that. Right, Tom, I don't mind telling this story out loud.
Sure.
So there was the Friday of MCM. I think it was last year. I got a little tipsy. I wouldn't say I was drunk, but a little tipsy. I remember I was just gyrating in front of you, quite close to your face. And I walked away from that with a little bit clearer head. I went, oh, shit. That is not me. That's not behavior I would condone, even someone did that to me. And I did that. And I wasn't going to say, oh, it's the alcohol. I hate when people use that as a fucking excuse to say, oh, I was drunk, that's why I did some silly behavior. Like, no, that's not an excuse. You have that behavior within you. You just let it out. So that is, I've got something in me that if I'm not in control of my own behavior, I will do even stupider thing. And I did straight away message Tom and said, look, mate, I'm so sorry. I hope you have, I hope you've not lost any respect for me or whatever. And he did actually go, well, he probably told someone to fuck off first, but he then...
Just for clarification, I didn't.
But he did say, no, mate, I totally understand, you're forgiven, don't worry, we're okay. And, I'm trying to, like, own up to shitty, stupid behaviours that I do. So that's it, really.
Okay. That is fair. I didn't mean to bring it down, but I mean, I genuinely think it's important that people in general, especially men of our vintage, Eddie. Vintage is the word we're going to use for it. Of our vintage, feel free to speak openly about these things. I think we will be a healthier society if people did speak about these things more freely. So, how about you, Tom? How are you doing?
I was just going to say, I do like how this podcast has gone from innate ramblings to Star Wars to Star Trek, and now to 3 40-year-old, or roughly, or will be 40-year-old men talking about their mental health. It's amazing.
This is how it goes. This is how life works, okay?
I'm always talking about my mental health. Does no one listen to my podcast?
No one does.
Every you've already outed me out in a couple of episodes ago that I shouldn't be using my podcast as a therapy session.
But it's free, Eddie. You might as well make it. Even if you are just shouting into the void and no one is listening, it's there. And if it works for you and it's free, all the better.
Well, Free's paying us lots of money. We've established that.
I know. I've got no money before anyone's... Nick, if you are listening and thinking, Eddie might have some money, I really don't have any money. Seriously, I don't.
He's lying, Nick. He's lying. Nick, really, if you are listening to this and getting the quotes, I'll give you a quote right now, okay? I'll give you a quote right now. Here we go.
Show me the money!
Eddie,
show me the money.
Show me the money. Show me the money, Eddie. Show me the money, Eddie. Okay, there you go. You've got several variations of the quotes you could use now, Nick. And just and when you do advertise this for Eddie, when you do post it on his socials and stuff like that, that is the quote you should use. Eddie, show me the money.
He's never releasing this podcast. This podcast is going to suffer a horrible accident in the edit. And oh no, it was all lost. Darn.
It's going to be like 10 minutes of late rambling about 5 minutes of Star Trek, and then the podcast will just end without any outro whatsoever.
It'll be like that Monty Python sketch where they're about to charge the castle at the end, and all of a sudden the police show up.
Anyway, we were saying, how are you, Tom?
That's what we call deflection, Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea how much that was, but we're going to still go with it.
Very well deflected. Very loaded question.
Keep it light, guys.
Definitely.
If you're not comfortable, straight up, Tom. If you're not comfortable talking about it, you don't have to.
No, it's fine. I perhaps won't go into specifics, but what I will say is, Eddie, you are certainly not the only one. Things have been happening, things of which I am dealing with and stuff like that. And I like to think that recently I'm starting to turn some corners, but there are certainly other corners and hurdles which I haven't quite gotten over yet.
I'm so sorry that you have to deal with Boris Johnson. I'm so sorry.
He's a twat, Eddie. He's a complete twat.
You're his bodyguard and to listen to him innately talk about everything in such gobbledygook language. I didn't realize that was you, like having to escort him to the Playmobil room and all that. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Playmobil room?
Yeah, well, it's close enough. If that was me, then yeah, I got very angry at my job, let's say.
Oh, okay. We should leave it right there.
Right there. Yeah. And thank you for listening to Eddie's podcast. That's all the time we have.
So we got one truth, one, two truth, one. Hey, Andy, anyone add a third? Keep it light, guys.
Yeah, come on, Andy, tell us. How are you?
I hate to be the one to kind of buck the trend, but I'm kind of doing all right, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm off to Japan in a couple of weeks, which I'm kind of really excited for / dreading a little bit. But other than that,
oh god, yeah. I'm sorry, Andy, you're suffering. Oh my god, we should give you so much sympathy for your trouble.
I appreciate that. I
know. Me and Tom, we got nothing on you. I'm so sorry. Do you want to take insurance for this, or do you want therapy? Do you want to do another podcast as a therapy session?
Oh, you don't want to start that particular can of worms there, Ed.
For the 3 listeners that are still listening to this podcast,
which is us.
One of them is me. Yes.
I was going to say, which is us at this point. We all of us here would like to add that if you are struggling, please do seek out help and advice from friends, family.
Not us.
Yeah, not us.
But most certainly not us, because we are hopeless and we are very much in the same boat as you.
We can't even manage our own lives. I'm going to manage your
life. We love you, but yes, very much go seek the help that you need. Again, Nick, please make sure that the serious quote makes it. And,
show me the money.
Yes, and show me the money. And I think we've got about 15 minutes left of this podcast, so let's change subject.
Yes.
Yeah, let's shift the gear. Tom, anything you would like to bring to the cast? What would you like to ask Eddie?
Oh Christ! I didn't prepare a question.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah.
every time, right? Okay, every time I do.
But I do have a question.
Hang on, before you start your question, like every time I do invite him along, the ones he does actually have time for me, and then like especially like the unscripted guy. Oh, I didn't know how to prove my question. I fucking told you, you had to come up with a question.
Hold on. I feel that's a little exaggerated. I have prepared questions before. There may have been one or two where I hadn't. And I very quickly recovered from that and asked questions and engaged, with the podcast and stuff like that. So yes, but there may have been one or two moments where yes, I might have been like, huh? Say what now? Yeah.
Anyway, your question.
I've completely forgot about it. No. Okay, Eddie.
Yes.
Chaos.
Real question right now.
Yes,
okay.
I'm in Zen mode now. Zen mode, yes.
Yeah, Zen mode, and I want to get to the heart of the matter.
It's in my chest.
No.
Oh.
No. Okay. Well, yeah, not the heart of you.
Oh.
That's in your chest. I know what that is. And it's rotted away slowly, just FYI. Anyway, the question,
yes.
Eddie. Why have you not paid Nick yet? I mean, Nick, I'm fighting for you, buddy. I really am. So, yeah, Eddie. Payment?
Well, thank you for being on the podcast, you guys. I mean, look.
That was also called deflection.
Look, I have no money. I live in London. I have a shitty job. I go back and forth on the bloody public transport, which is going up in price every day, practically.
He says this after coming away.
Oh my God!
Coming back home from Hong Kong.
You absolute bastard! I'm going to have to bleep this word over you.
Okay, real question.
Okay, go on.
No. Okay. As you are turning the big 4-0, okay, and as Andy mentioned earlier, it's you join an elite group of people. How, up until the time of recording, is there a moment apart from the holiday from Hong Kong that has really stood out to you this past year? There you go.
Past year, okay. What has
a moment, one singular moment, and obviously choosing not to pay Nick is not the moment we are looking for.
Can you imagine how much of a bastard I'd be? Yeah, not paying Nick. Yeah,
I'm going to pay all my other guests, but not the guy.
Not the guy that does it weekly for me.
Yeah.
What's your middle name? Scrooge.
Scrooge.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, hang on. When was the 100th episode? Does that count in the year? Yeah, it does.
Was it this year?
No, it was no, within the year. It's in the year. Yeah. I mean,
so since your last birthday, you recorded your 100th podcast.
Yeah, because hang on, wait, what? No. Yeah. No. No, shit. Have I? Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Because 52 episodes back is less than yeah. God, fuck me. That would be really embarrassing if I was Asian and couldn't math. That would be really embarrassing. Like I was Asian, I couldn't math. Jesus Christ!
I want to make it very clear. Eddie said that. Neither of us did that.
That is Eddie's opinion. Andy and I do not share that opinion. In fact, we can't really say the Talks About podcast doesn't share that opinion because the host of it is literally saying it. So Andy and I don't agree with what Ed just said.
We just want to distance ourselves from the comments of the host.
So, yes.
Well, I am Asian. I'm sure I can make a comment about my own self. Anyway, as I was saying, well, no, genuinely, I got made a no. Wait, oh fuck, this is gonna go against me now about Nick. Shit, so I got promoted at work.
Oh, Nick, he is doing you dirty.
He's now a senior vice president.
In fact, Nick, I think what we should do, Andy, is we may have to wait for this, maybe, but next time this comes around with both me and you and you're in control of the podcast, we should definitely get Nick to come on and address these concerns that He rightly has.
I think we should. I think we should go to question time. Basically, I think we get Fiona Bruce on this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so that generally was a nice thing to happen to me. Because I've already been a manager once, and that went terribly. And I feel like this time around it's gone really well. I am waiting for the wheels to fall off, but so far so good.
On this podcast, I mean, that happened about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, about a week ago, it probably happened when you asked Andy to do it for you. But sure, let's crack on.
Let's crack on.
Just overlook that slight hiccup.
Just a little bit.
I like to feel that after he asked me, he suddenly paused and was a moment of, have I just made a horrible mistake?
Yes.
You have no idea how often I think that anyway. What else? No, generally my photo, I'm very proud of my work anyway, but there's like one or two photos that I've like gone, look, and I don't want to start picking names out to say that they're better than anyone else, but the people I admire, like Carlos Adama, I love his work. I love his use of lights in his photos, his flash photography. It's absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. But I know we're never going to get my work up to his level, and I don't want to, because I don't want people to think I'm the Wish.com version of Carlos Adama. So I am happy for what I do, and for what I do, I like to improve it bit by bit, and just some say it might be a bit samey, a bit derivative. I don't care. I like it, and there's a set of photos which is I'm editing for my other brand, there's one photo in it that, for me, the light and the shadow really, really sits well, and I can't wait to share
On the latex?
I want to disagree with that, but it has got latex.
No, we all know you, Eddie. We know.
Yeah.
Shiny things.
Shiny. Women in shiny things. More to the point.
Did I say lady? I'm just saying the light and, just light and shadow just landed very well. I didn't say gender at all.
Euphemism.
Yes.
What else? No, like I said, the steps I'm taking to improve my life, I feel like that's a positive. I'm struggling to say much, because I don't want to list everything, because then it'll sound a bit mundane. But there are, I do look back at my life. Like I said, I do look back at my life. I am happy 90% of the time of what I have done. It's just that small little bit that I just want to go. I just want to make a little examination of that and just make sure that should be where it should be. That's it.
I do have one more follow-up question.
Oh God, yes. Is it about Nick?
He's going to full Columbo on you here, isn't he?
One more question. One
more thing, Mr. Chang. My wife, she loves your work.
Oh, she's the other listener to the podcast. Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah. There you go. We found the 3 people that are listening to it willingly.
Willingly? You bastard.
Okay, so as you were talking about your photography and
yes,
making changes to it for the year ahead, what's perhaps the one thing that you would either like to change or improve about your photography?
Oh, 100% less. I just want to do less. I'm not even kidding you. I would want to do less. But I've already stacked up my schedule for MCM, and it's the exact same schedule from last year to this year. So
Jesus.
There's no change there. But generally, there's been part of me that I did say this in a previous podcast. I wanted to close down Food and Cosplay, because I felt like a decade of it. It's had its fun, it's had its time, it should die. But then I did tell myself, well, I'm still going to Comic-Con, I'm still going to get photos out. People are still going to go, oh, you're Eddie from that Food and Cosplay. Oh, fuck. So I might as well just keep the name going for as long as I can actually feasibly walk. So I'll do that. But I do want to do less of it, because I want to have more time for myself. I really want to spend time just going to the pub, maybe, just having drinks with friends and things like that. And yeah, I'm just again, I've mentioned on the podcast, I've got a Steam Deck. I'm going to be playing that a little bit more, and I've really enjoyed it. I've completed practically Batman Arkham Asylum again whilst on the train.
Amazing.
I fucking loved it. I'm now playing Control, which I can't really play on the train because if I turn it on and play and do 5 steps, the battery will die because it's so power intensive.
Really?
Yeah, I see the battery drain really quick. Oh my god!
Oh Jesus! I love Control though. Control.
Yeah, but it's a really fucked up game.
Oh.
And yeah, I've got so many games I've just bought through sales and things like that. So I can't wait to go through those games when I get time. What else do I want to do more or less of? Like I said, I just want to do more photography, but not in cosplay. But I want to do other stuff, and it doesn't have to be the shiny. I generally want to do as many things as I can. It could be just headshots, fashion shoots, more tank space shoots. That they're quite fun.
Is there anything that you would like to change about your photography?
The person who runs food in cosplay, that'd be fucking fantastic.
That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing. No, change. Well, I've just changed my camera actually. So does that count?
That counts. Tell us about your camera. Why not?
I've just bought a mirrorless camera. It's a Canon R6.
One of us.
Yes.
A Canon R6 Mark II. I thought I'd go down that, and I've just bought a load of stuff. Incidentally, the podcast that's coming after this one
will be much better.
We talk about.
To be clear, if you've gotten this far into this podcast, don't worry. Next week's one will be a lot better.
I have an idea. Yeah. If you've gotten this far in the podcast, tweet me or Instagram me the word,
and Eddie will send you money.
Yeah, money. Just no explanation. To put money, or even like the emojis, money, and I'll know what that means. But I've just bought a load of stuff for. I still am poor though. Before anyone starts, this was a birthday present for my parents. Before anyone says anything,
Nick.
Yeah. Nick. Awfully suspicious.
Holiday. He's paying his guests. He's bought a new camera equipment. I'd be asking that question, man. I'd really be asking that question.
Two of those 3 facts are true.
And a job promotion. Let's not forget about that.
3 of the 4 are true.
I mean, 3's enough, some would say.
It is a magic number.
It is.
Motherfucker. What was it? I can't remember what I was talking about. So, okay, that's it. The next podcast we're talking about like you just point and click. There's no skill behind photography. And I think we do talk about what's in our camera bag. And we kind of came up with that, oh shit, I feel like each photographer carries about 4 to 6 grand's worth of equipment in their bags.
It's so true.
And it is. And like, there are times I just leave so spoiler for the podcast up ahead. But each photographer just leaves their bag on the floor. I'm surprised nothing goes missing.
Oh, I honestly, like, it was such... When I first started, like, doing, cons, like, on the regular, I would leave my camera bag open.
Yeah.
Like, I would walk at least 30 feet away from it.
Yes.
Like, we don't know what I was thinking.
Yep.
And now I make such concerted effort to keep it with me at all times.
No, you don't. You're lying.
No. But this is the point. I'd made that effort. I really do try. I'm still fucking doing it, though. I am still leaving that motherfucker somewhere, and like just out of eyesight, and hoping and praying for the best that some dickhead doesn't come along and pick up whichever lens I'm not using at the time.
I'll you guys both know I've had a camera bag stolen.
Dude, it's not me. It's not me.
No, I know it wasn't you, but I was on a job. I was working. I was in New Zealand at the time.
Oh shit!
And I was staying at a friend's house. And their house was broken into, and in that house was my bag with a 5D Mark III. It gets worse. A 70 to 200 2.8 lens, a 24 to 70 2.8 lens, a 16 to 35 2.8 lens. Probably, I think I think at the end of it. It was about £8,000 worth of equipment. It was nicked.
And insurance, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My point is, get insurance. It ain't expensive. And guess what? It's fucking worth it.
Oh, actually, that has reminded me to renew mine, because I honestly don't think I have.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, put an AirTag in your bag.
Yeah, I also need to get one of those as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's loads of them in my bag. Honestly,
Well, actually, I was able to recover my laptop because they make the laptop as well, and I was able to track the laptop through the Apple Find My thing.
Yeah,
which
Amazing.
is the same as the iTag.
I love Find My on Apple.
But I tell you what, by the time the police got there, they'd already offloaded all the camera gear. So I got the laptop back, but I lost all the camera gear.
Shit.
Well, have I mentioned about my family in New Zealand, by the way?
Funnily enough, no. But interesting. I noticed you just said you had a new camera as well.
Yeah, a Canon FID Mark III. Yeah. What?
Suspicious much?
Suspicious.
Yes.
Generally, it's not me. I didn't steal it.
So you say, just like you don't pay Nick.
Oh my God!
Yes. Just like you don't pay your guests, right?
Yeah.
I don't pay my guests. There's a reason.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Was there
Is it because of the quality podcasting you get from them?
Yes, I'm going to deflect even more now. Is there anything else you want to talk about besides Nick, my money situation, and anything else?
I think we've tortured you for probably the ample amount of time. I mean, is there anything that you would like to ask us, or any regrets that you would like to air?
Why are you torturing me? Why on my birthday podcast, you're doing this to me?
Well, I mean, I never actually really know what you want me to do on this sort of thing. I mean, do you want us to just come on and praise you and say, "Oh, we're so happy we know Ed"?
Yes!
But I don't feel that would be sincere. I think this is how you know we love you, Ed. We have both taken an hour out of our very busy days to come here and share this time with you and share our love of you with the world. And this is how we show our love. Love is pain, Eddie. Love is pain.
It is. Very, very much so.
Take it.
Take it where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, like that scene in Everywhere, Everything, All at Once where that man jumped in the air to sit on...
love that film.
I thought you were going to say you love that bit.
It could be two things.
Actually, I will say when I very first saw that film, that I'd had an absolute end of the day. I actually fell asleep in the cinema watching that film, and
Get Out.
Yeah, no, honestly, I know it's so bad of me, but I sorted that out as soon as possible afterwards.
Good.
So yes, yeah. But yeah, don't sleep in that film. It was the point to that story, and I'm pretty sure there was a cautionary tale about insuring your camera equipment as well for the one photographer that's still listening to this podcast. An hour and 4 minutes in,
which is Nick, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And the circle of life completes itself. Nick, how you doing? You paid yet? I hope you paid. By the time you hear this,
all he's going to hear is gaps in the podcast. Yeah. There's no mention of it, just gaps in the podcast. Hey, niggas!
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it's just going to be 10, 20 straight minutes of just the word Nick over and over again.
And he's going to panic every time. Like, why is my name being mentioned? Nothing's on. Fucking hell. No, thank you for doing this for me, Andy. Do I want to say thank you? Yeah, I better say thank you so that sounds sincere and honest.
Same time next year, yeah?
Yeah, same time next year.
Excellent. I'll schedule it in.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Wish I... Oh, God, no.
So just to clarify.
Yes.
For your birthday podcast this year.
Yes.
We have spoken about Star Trek.
Yes.
Sorry, no, I'd never start again. We have spoken about inane bullshit.
Yes.
Star Wars. Star Trek.
Yes.
You going to Hong Kong.
No.
You not paying Nick.
No, definitely no.
Mental health.
Our mental health.
Yes.
You not paying Nick again.
No.
People stealing, us dumb photographers leaving our camera equipment for people to steal.
Yeah.
You wanting to do less photography, but also more photography at the same time.
Yes.
Shiny stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all in all, and you, let's not forget, you potentially being cancelled if people ever saw what you've written in that group.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Again, I don't know what you just said. Nick's name, and there's just blankness. Don't understand what just happened there.
See,
Well,
the thing is,
clearly those blanks are the bits that Eddie's going to get cancelled for.
yeah, exactly. And
I would
the
rather
thing
be
is,
I'd rather be cancelled than what actually was spoken in those blanks.
and the thing is that you've already asked people like to quote "show me the money" or DM you show you the money.
All I said was, quote me, money, money, money. That has nothing to do with anything else. I just said that.
Nothing to do with Nick, no.
Nothing to do with Nick. No.
Okay, so what you're going to have on your podcast is show me the money, Nick, Nick, Nick. So I just want to clear it up, Eddie. I just want to make sure that you're okay with it, and Nick gets the message that that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, yeah. Nick, if you want to be paid, there's someone called Tom who will give you the money. Go hassle him. I've given him what he needs to do to get you your money. All right, just go to Tom, and he'll sort it all out. Okay.
I feel like you should add a tier on the Patreon of Pay Nick tier. And
Nick, yeah, if you have any inquiries, please DM me at Food and Cosplay on Twitter, or
No.
go to the Food and Cosplay website and email Eddie at Food and Cosplay, Eddie or Tom will get back to you.
No. Just to say that you should go to This Is Gallagher World, whatever, on Instagram. Or
You don't even know it.
Of course I don't fucking know.
That hurts me, Eddie. That hurts me.
Good. They know how I feel for the last hour.
to be fair, look, they're both taking the mic. Now, the real person you want to DM is HKC. So that's KITCHKAYCEE. On all the socials. No. That's the place you want to...
No. Andy, we know who to send this to. Send it to CX Warwich on Twitter.
Yes, yeah, that's fair.
That is very fair.
CX Warwick,
if you put
photos.
in the top, if you put in the subject, "I want to hire you," it will definitely open it as well.
Charlotte, we love you, but you're getting all of Nick's inquiries.
She's just going to receive like this out of context message from some guy called Nick about money and payments for Eddie's podcast. Yep. She's going to take one look at that message and go, "What?"
No, she'll probably look at that message and go, "This involves Eddie. I know it. I just know it."
To be fair, everything just involves you. We know whenever some crazy stuff happens, if you dig far enough back in, Eddie is at the root of it.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Anyway, I'm going to close this podcast because we are just dangerously running out of time. I just want to close off by saying that middle part of the section, if you had listened to the whole podcast and that middle section you felt a bit unease, do not panic, do not worry. I am fine, I am okay. Like I said, I'm dealing with my own I'm sorting my own life in my own special way, and I am fine. Generally, I've just lost the bit I was fiddling with, and I'm playing with a little like a thimble thing.
I don't want to know what you're playing with, Eddie.
No, exactly.
I really don't want to play with.
I don't think your audience do either. If I'm going to.
Do you know what we're cutting? Do you remember that bit we're cutting out about Sean?
Oh yeah, there you go.
To
be fair though, it wasn't a little thimble.
Look, I just back to what I was saying. I don't want people to like start messaging me and go, "Oh, you sounded like you're in." Look, it's fine. I'm okay. But if you genuinely want to talk to me, my DMs are open. You know, I'm on Facebook, whatever. Just drop me a message. Although if you say hello and I say hello back and you said, "Dude, you look sexy," I'm just gonna troll you back. But anyway. Are you all these women? What, all these different women of different skin type, height, and facial structure? Yes, I'm all these women. He
is an expert level cosplayer, folks.
I
can tell you.
Yeah,
this man is like a chameleon in the modern day world.
I know. It was just so. Why are people so fucking dumb? Anyway, I'm going to close off the podcast. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for. Wow. Yes, thank you for being. Yeah, I better say thank you. Thank you for being on this podcast. Andy, if people need to find you on the social medias, where they can find you?
Oh, you don't need to find me after this. It's good. We're good. We're cool.
Andy?
Yes?
Say it.
Fine. You can find me on most social media at Andy3E. Or if you want to listen to a podcast which isn't quite as rambly and crazy as this, you can find me also on The Great Derelict. I'm also on the Grand Prix podcast, but that can be as rambly and as crazy as this. And it's mostly talking about Formula One stuff. But yeah, those are the places you can find me.
Fantastic. Tom, where can they find you on the social medias?
Just before, I do want to say, folks, if you have made it to the end of this podcast, okay, if you have, don't forget, go wish Eddie a happy birthday. Tell him Tom sent you. Tell him Andy sent you.
Call him old.
Yeah, call him old.
Yeah.
And do go wish him a happy birthday. And if you want to find me, you can find me across most social media platforms. This is Gallagher Photos on Instagram, at Gallagher Photos on Facebook and Twitter. And you can also find me on my very own website, www.gallagherphotos.org.
Also, podcast coming soon, right, Tom?
Yes, very, very, very soon.
So, I smell revenge. I smell revenge. Anyway.
Yeah, Eddie, I won't make the same mistake that you keep making, and that's by inviting you.
Can I just say also?
I'd say that it's going to happen.
Yeah. Can I just say to future guests of this podcast, I hope that this episode will show you don't actually have to listen to Eddie when he tries to maintain order. Seriously, he has no control here. None whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
Lord of Applies, my friends.
We also hope that you got paid as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just so happens I just cut them off. That's so unhelpful of me. Oh, it's so good to have this silence in my head. Anyway, what was I saying? So Nick, if you want to message Tom, that'll be fantastic. You can message Tom those that you can unmute yourself if you want. Okay.
Oh, we know. We were just having fun watching you do your thing.
It's all right. I knew. I was going to, I've allowed it to happen for 10 seconds. So yeah.
Thank you for on my own podcast.
And then that entire 10 seconds, you've done nothing.
I know. Anyway, if you need to find me on the social medias, if you go to foodandcosplay.org/links, that's where you'll find all my social media links. If you go to foodandcosplay.org generally, you'll find cosplay photos and some articles here and there. If you go to foodandcosplay.org/podcast, you'll find podcasts that I've recorded with these two, with different subjects, with different guests, blah, 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 blah. If you go to patreon.com, because I'm not being paid at all for all of this, I'm poor. I have no money.
You have a Patreon?
Yes, I have a Patreon. And then if someone pays me money, I can give some of it to Nick.
Wow, that sounds like an admission there. There you go. We got there eventually. It's taken us an hour and 15 minutes, but we got you some money.
We've got there, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is also an empty...
Our work here is done.
Yeah,
that is also an empty gesture. Anyway, so if you go to patreon.com/foodandcosplay, you can help donate. If you've been thoroughly entertained on this podcast, and I will be doing some podcasts.
If you have,
I know, but there will be some podcast extras coming soon, so worth signing up for that. I think I nicked that idea off some other podcast I was listening to. I think they call it Deck Chairs and Dirty Airs. I mean, Andy, have you heard of it?
Wait. Do you actually subscribe to our Patreon?
Maybe.
Oh, wow, look at you. Oh, I take back all the
fucking haven't.
Oh, shit, actually. Oh, that's good, because we might have mentioned you in the most recent Deck Chairs episode.
What?
And I was suddenly going, oh, wait, no, I was pretty sure you didn't subscribe, but if you do, but clearly you don't, so yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So there will be some podcast extras coming very, very, very soon. So yes, on that note, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being on this podcast. I've had a good laugh. It has actually been quite a good laugh to be laughing this hard and this long. It's been fun.
Well, our work here is done then.
Also, it is.
Pay Nick.
But also, next year, never again.
Yeah, you'll be Charlotte instead. She can
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you're just choosing the better of two evils, really, Eddie.
I could just choose no evils.
Yeah,
you could, but you won't.
Yeah, exactly. Because how would you make your podcast?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to say goodbye, and they're going to say goodbye. So, bye, guys.
Bye.
Hello there.
Hello there. Goodbye.
General Kenobi.
Father, no!
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Kill me now.
How many more Star Wars quotes do you think that we could fit into this?
No more!
Before Eddie really does switch off recording. Eddie, the ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
What? What dumbass said that?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah. Rebellions are built on hope, Eddie.
Oh god, I'm built on fucking just sadness, I think.
You can't stop change any more than you can stop the suns from setting.
Stop Wikipediaing all of this!
I really am, it's great.
Do you know what the odds of him betraying us are? They're high. They're really high.
Confronting fears the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny, Eddie.
I mean, I'm curious why you're still recording. I mean, you could have stopped this.
One more. Do or do not. There is no try.
Fuck off!
Eddie, may the force be with you.
Fuck you!
Eddie, your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
Hey, Eddie. You came
Yes?
in that thing? You're braver than I thought.
These sound like very generic quotes, by the way. They don't sound Star Warsy.
Eddie,
they're Star Wars.
Eddie, the sun is setting on the New Republic. It's time for the resistance to rise.
Lord Vader, rise.
Eddie, this one you should take to heart. Your focus determines your reality.
Fucking hell, it does. It really does. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. I'm trying not to cry.
Okay, but before you end it, one more. And Eddie, for you, this is especially important because both me and Eddie know just how much you love Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay, Here we go.
Yeah.
The Force will always... sorry, let me start again. The Force... The Force will be with you always.
I know.
Bye!
Bye!